Do you have trouble with the things you can control? Like the decision-making process. Does that excite you, or does that make you so upset, like you just kind of want people to take over? It's Chaya, and I'm back with Unstuck and Unstoppable, your series. It was created literally to help those of you, you know who you are, create freedom for yourself to become really unstoppable no matter what goes on around you. So today I want to talk to you about that. What happens to you when you finally hit the stuff you can control? As we spoke about yesterday, most stuff you can't control and you have to relinquish it. Yet there are some stuff you can, like there are some choices that are in your hand. Do you embrace that, or are you like, oh my God, no, forget it? Because most of my life, I realized I was going through these phases of running after control, wanting it with everything I've got, wanting the control of having a job, for example, of having the specific job I wanted. And then as soon as I got from them the okay that they wanted me, suddenly it was like, okay, wait, now they want me to give them the go-ahead that I'm going to work for them. Oh God, but what if I can't give them that go-ahead? And I had this many different areas of my life, with apartments, with people, with everything, really. It would be like I would run for that control. I would run and want that guy to want me. And then as soon as he wanted me, I was freaking out because, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You understand? Do you do that too? Do you find yourself running for the control, trying in all areas of your life to get control? And then how do you feel at the moment that you have control? Maybe not in the specific area you wanted, but in some area. How do you feel when you have the control of choosing whether or not to live here in America or in Israel? How do you feel when you have the control of choosing whether to take the job or not, to ask for a raise or not? There are a few things that are in your control, and those are your actions, your reactions, your feelings. How do you feel when it comes to me telling you, you get to choose how you feel? How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel free, or does that make you feel, oh my God, no, I don't get to choose how I feel? Don't say stuff like that. The universe does it for me. No, the universe does not do it for you. The universe does the actions around you. It creates the scenario around you. You choose what goes on inside. You choose how you react to the outside that's around you. So, are we on the same page yet? Do you realize how kind of insane it is that we want the control so bad, yet when in this areas we do have control, we are unable to take a hold of it, to actually use it? And what I want to tell you is like this. For right now, for right here, we can do very similar to what we've done before and what I've been bringing up yesterday and with the, prayer day. We can actually relinquish that too if we need. Not if we need. For starters, learning a whole new language of how to take over your life, to take over what is in your control, that is going to take time. And we can relinquish the need for it to happen today. And that would look like this, like, hey God, or I pray that I can relinquish the need for this to happen overnight, for me to find a way to actually take over my life and take over the decisions I have available to me and make them properly. So step number 1 is recognizing where you really are at and how much you're taking the control that's given to you. Are you the one driving your bus here, or your, whatever you want to call it, your boat, your plane, your ship, whatever it is? Are you the one driving it, or is it driving on autopilot and you didn't even realize that you can sit in the driver's seat? If it's driving on autopilot, I want you to recognize that too, that is a good thing to recognize. Because we get to choose now. Do you want to go into the driver's seat? Going into the driver's seat does not look like asking for control over everything in life. Going into the driver's seat is recognizing I have barely any control. In fact, most of what I want to control, I will never control. And that is okay. It's okay that it bothers me. It's okay. The whole thing is okay. But what I can control, that's inside me. That's my feelings. That's my, I can have a very big say on how I feel. I can have a very big say on what I react. That's up to me. So there's a few parts to this, and what I want to do is break it down real fast, okay? So 1, recognize exactly where you're at. 2, recognize how hard it is that even when you are talking about the things you can control, you still need to relinquish control. It's almost like a paradox. I'm telling you that this is within your control, but at the same time, you need to let it go. And what I mean by that is envision what you want and let go of the need for it to happen the way you want. Because you don't control the outcome. See, I had this beautiful mindset. I went into this roommate situation, and I had this beautiful mindset. I told myself, listen, Chaya, I learned all these beautiful things, like how you behave with other humans and how you interact and how you can communicate and how you just like get really authentic and all that. And this time I promised myself I'm gonna give it so much, 100%, like literally like I'm in a relationship, and it's gonna be good. And you know what? It wasn't good. I gave 100% and it still wasn't good. You know what I had to realize at that point? That it's not a reflection of me. It's not a reflection of me. That I had it wrong in the first place. That in my control was just how I acted, not the outcome. Not the outcome. And the outcome is not a reflection of what the hard work that was put in. The outcome is a reflection of what was supposed to happen. It's up to you what you put in. It's not up to you what happens because of it. So even as I talk to you about taking control of your own life, I want you to know that. Because I didn't know that. And it took me a few weeks of going back and forth in my head and beating on myself and thinking maybe I changed this, maybe, until I realized like, no, there's nothing to change here. This is the situation. Pick up yourself and act accordingly. Now it's still in your control to choose how you continue, not the outcome. The outcome is not in your control because there's another human involved and they get to choose. 2, and if they're choosing choices that don't help the situation, that's on them. And they'll have to deal with the repercussions, not you. It's not in your hands to keep adjusting to other people so that you can get the results you want. It's not in your hands. That will be stepping all over you. And that's not what I'm talking to you about. What I'm talking to you about is learning to take full ownership and control of what you can and let go of the outcome. The outcome will never be a reflection of the hard work you put in. But right now, you have the ability to step up and step into yourself. Take every single option you have, every single choice you have, look it in the eye and say, if I put fear on the side, if I put the need for the outcome to be a certain way on the side, if I put everything, if I take off all my clothing, all my emotional clothing, all my bag, anything that I have that stands in my way, what am I left with? What is the choice that sounds like me, that makes me shine through? And is there maybe another choice I'm not even seeing? If you get used to doing this, your life will completely change. I know what I'm saying here might be a concept you've heard before, and it might be a concept you've never heard before. I want to tell you right now, this is how my life changed. I did many, many, many things, but this, recognizing that it's my control to it's my responsibility to take over my life. No one's coming to save me but me. I need to get into the driver's seat and drive. And I'm just giving you a little bit of a sneak peek ahead that when you're going to do that, there's going to be moments where you're going to take it so personal, and that's a good thing. You're going to take it so personal when the outcome isn't what you wanted. That's a good thing. That means you're so invested. And I'm here to remind you that at that moment, exactly that moment, That's when you relinquish control. That's when you go back to what we talked about yesterday and what I started mentioning earlier today, so that you realize it's a combination of both. We need to learn how to control and let go of control at the same time, one after the other, together, whenever we need. They need to become fun and enjoyable, but most of all, they need to work together. And that is going to be your responsibility to make happen. Learning how to let go and how to take control at the same time. When you get that right, when you get that straight, you will feel a new level of freedom, because the hardest of times can be upon you. And you will take control in the areas you can, and then you will let go of the rest. You will not think about it anymore. Maybe a little bit, but every time you will look up and say, I pray that you help me with this. I pray that I be able to let go of this. I pray that I be able to, and I surrender it to you, because I recognize that there's only so much I can do. Wouldn't that be cool? Now that is the ultimate unstoppable. Are you ready to do that? Get started today. Get started right now. All right, you know what to do. My time's up here. So like and subscribe. I'll see you here soon.